well. It's not too late for you, no? Right, the first part of the meeting is open to public, and it's your turn to ask questions or make statements about the reason why you're here, but we can obviously know why you and you probably just wanted to know what we're going to do about, or how we can help you, is what I'm assuming is your main interest. And then there are some other people that are come with other things. So if you're not for the can you indicate now? You've got a different question. There's one there, Alison. Two, three. Are you you're together? Yes. We lost his chair. Right. Who do you want to start? Panthers? Yes.
Good evening. I'm here tonight with this rabble, my fellow supporters, to listen to your agenda item 161/11-23, which is registering the speedway track as an asset of community value. Since I was last here and I last spoke to you, a number of things have happened down at the showground. I thought I'd take this opportunity to bring you up to date, if that's okay, with what's been going on.
Before you do, can I just say, I noticed there's a gentleman recording things here. We just need to make everybody aware, and with children in the audience, we're very concerned that we safeguard children and we don't have them in any of the shots.
Yes, what is recording for?
I don't know.
I regularly record meetings in Aldbridge in Lincolnshire. I've been doing since 2016. I'm entitled to
Okay,
record.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'll try not to swear. I wasn't going to swear. So, if I take you back to the last but one speedway meeting of the season, I was present when the asset manager for AEPG instructed the club that everything had to be cleared on the site by the end of November. That included the track, the safety fence, the lights, the pits, and other areas that are used. Spring forward now to Wednesday the 15th of November. The guys doing this work were working at the track, and the CEO of AEPG went to see them and asked them who exactly had told them everything had to be cleared by the end of November. And they told him it was his asset manager. And that is true, because I was present when the asset manager told the club to do that. He told them, he seemed shocked and told them he didn't realise, and then he said, she keeps on doing this. So, on Thursday the 16th of November, this is 2 days before we held a rally in Cathedral Square, a joint statement was issued by the East of England Agriculture Society and AEPG. You may have seen it, I'm sure you have. We understand that this has been initiated by the Agricultural Society, but with input from AEPG. And the paragraph in the statement says, on the bottom of page 1, I'll pass this round to you. In recent weeks, and this is the key point, under their own initiative, the current owners of Peterborough Panthers have removed the track surface, pits, fence, and associated assets from the circuit. So, under their own initiative, so that is completely untrue. So, you may have read that in the press, social media. I just wanted to point that out to you. What has actually been done, the top layer of shale has been removed. There's 53 years worth of shale on that track. That's a lot of shale. It's piled up on the showground. They don't really know what to do with it. They've got nowhere to put it. The wooden safety fence has been removed, but that was rotten anyway, and it was in the plans to replace it this year. And the pits and the office buildings have also been removed, although we haven't been told that. We saw them going down on a trailer through Whittlesea the other day. What I want to emphasise to you is this is not a big deal. It's all cosmetic. It's not an issue to correct. The top layer shell can be replaced. A fencing company has contacted us and told us they will replace that fence within 14 days. And one of our sponsors are the biggest timber merchants in the Midlands, so that wouldn't be an issue. And the pits and office buildings, basic replacements can also be supplied quickly by a club sponsor. So basically what I want you to know, that these are all cosmetic, and we could return the track and stadium to as it was within 28 days. So I just wanted you to be sure of that. That's all, unless you've got any questions.
Right.
Thanks for your time.
That's all right. I think you're aware that we can help you by asking it to be made into
asset of community value.
Is that, are you happy that we go ahead and do that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Unfortunately, there is some work you will have to do because we obviously don't know your history, and there's a form to be filled out, completed, and then if you could do that, if we get it to you, and then you send it to Alison, and then we will put it in on your behalf,
Yeah, we'll do that.
and we'll support that, because that's what we agreed previously. Is there any other questions you'd like to ask of us?
Not for me.
Anybody want to say anything? The councillors do you want to?
Are we discussing this on the agenda though? If it's on the agenda later, we're discussing it there.
Is it?
It is, yeah. It's number 161.
Yes,
Sorry, it's 161.
Yes.
Shall I answer it then?
I have a question. I'm not here for the Panthers at all. I don't even go to Speedway. I've had dealings with AEPG and have a finger on the pulse of how they operate. What would stop them just ripping down the stadium, ripping down stuff from now? Is there anything to just stop them kiboshing your plans, in other words?
I think if they don't have planning permission, I don't think they're allowed to remove the grandstand.
They can't bring something down. I thought planning permission was bringing something up. Am I?
You can't clear a site before you've got planning approval, is my understanding. You probably know that.
In the grey area, I think they could make a good case for demolishing the grandstand tomorrow, if they so wish.
I think, sorry on that, I think the PCC have just issued a statement, a position statement from the revised council, and they've made it very clear in that statement that it is an existing asset and they do not want to see it taken down. So I think they've made a statement for themselves.
What would be the penalty for the AEPG to ignore that and just carry on?
Well, I think their book is pretty badly stained already if they think they're going to get the main development going ahead. I think they've got a pretty bad reputation already now.
That's why I asked the question.
The reputation is stinks. It really does.
In other words, is there anything you can do to protect it? And I don't even go to Speedway. I've never been in my life.
Nor me, and I even went to town to support them.
Same here, yeah. I just know the animal that you're dealing with.
Yeah, so do I.
Can we?
Could I just add one thing? This is relatively new procedure to make assets community value. The one I can think of very recently was Reading Football Club, the supporters trust there, about 3 or 4 months ago. The council, the local council granted one because they've got a kamikaze, a foreign owner of the football club, who doesn't really pay what they start for each player on time, so they've been deducting points at the end of last season and the beginning of this season. So quite clearly, it's got a wide berth of things you can use in asset values and community value for.
The reason I asked the question, which you're not aware of, is we had a meeting with AEPG a few days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, in which he showed us the plans and told us that the leisure quadrant, that there's going to be their land, they've already started contracting to the various leisure providers, the golf and the various leisure providers that are on his plan. He's already started contracting. So he's already making plans for that speedway track to not be there.
Without planning.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but I haven't got planning permission for that. I can't see how they can do that.
Well, I've got planning permission to drive
I know.
about 500 cars in our back garden, but they're doing it. So I think they literally don't really care about planning permission.
They've only applied for outline as well.
Yeah, but he's told me they're at contracting stage to the people providing the leisure facilities.
You let a contract without work starting, of course.
Sorry?
You can
Yes.
let a contract
Yeah.
without the work
I don't know. I'm
starting.
just going on what.
It's at their risk though, isn't it?
That wasn't why we were
Doesn't
there.
get planning.
It's just he brought it up in conversation in the.
It's also interesting to note that they've conducted a business for nearly a year without any planning permission.
Yes.
They still do so to this day.
I think actually that's quite really become relevant since they've closed down Dunblane Drive, okay, and it was just transporters coming in. And speaking with the operations manager when I was complaining, she actually was very quick to point out, oh, it's not us, it's not just us coming in here. Now Mark's situation seems to have been showing this because they're seeing Pantechnicons coming out of there. They have got another, they've let the site, there's a company employed to let the rest of the site to other businesses. So, you know, they're doing this without getting any planning permission. They're turning it into an industrial estate. They've turned it into, I can't remember the name of the company, I put it in writing on this, but they've got a commercial company who, I think there's virtually every building, every area, open planning, open storage, all the buildings are all up for grabs. Now, how many have gone? It appears now, the way Mark is seeing it, that there must be more stuff coming in.
Well, we'll have to leave that there because I'm limited to the time that this is open to the public, and I just hope that we've rest assured you're on the agenda further down, but it's only to confirm what we've told you already. All right? You are welcome to stay, but it's up to yourselves. But we can't let anybody, once we finish the public meeting, we won't take any more things, anything else from the public.
Well, showground anyway.
So, stage is mine. Okay, so let me speak. We live on Arena Drive. Arena Drive back straight onto the perimeter road of the showground, just to give you an idea of where we are. I'm here because I want to make the Parish Council aware that there was a planning application, probably are aware, there was a planning application for Peterborough City Council that was refused, and then the problem has been dropped directly on our doorstep. A little bit like cleaning up, feels like cleaning up dog mess out of your garden and just throwing it over your neighbour's fence and going, it's all sorted. In 2015 was necessity for her. Traffic flows about 6 inches from our back garden from 5 AM in the morning until any time up till midnight, and we're sleep deprived, hence the coffee today you saw me drinking. It's a total invasion of our privacy as well, because you're talking about heavy goods vehicles, lorries, tall vans that stop, wait for the gate, and they look straight into our kitchen, our bedroom and our lounge. To give you an example, I mean a picture says it better than I could say it. This is what we're faced with. 500 vehicles every 24-hour period go by our back garden. We cannot sit in our back garden in peace. And yes, we did buy a house next to a showground. But we knew when the shows were on, it was 8 times a year. It wasn't 5 a.m. starts. So this is what we're faced with. Since the council didn't get them to stop operations, here's some more photos, so you can see straight into our back garden. And this guy's like waiting, sitting there with his engine running on a HGV. That's just a screenshot from the site. So, thanks. I made, this is 6 inches from our fence. I had a meeting, as I said, with AEPG and made them aware that they're operating in antisocial hours, to which they said, the antisocial hours they told me were, quote, 6 a.m. till 11 p.m, but we allow an hour for people to get to work, so they start at 5. I'm not sure what that explanation meant, and I said, no, from the government website, it's 11 p.m. till 7 a.m. They're antisocial hours. We should have nothing passing our back garden disturbing us during those hours. And they had a total disregard to this. Even in the recent planning application that went in yesterday, they're still asking to start at 5:30 a.m. It's just crazy. My proposal to them is, or I proposed to them the Gate 5 solution. I proposed it to them, pulled a notice board away and said we actually came up with the same thing. I agree. We have both arrived at the same solution. That Gate 5 solution is a good solution for them operating and keeping the traffic well away from the back of our house. I'm saying to them, why can't you implement that now? Because it's your land. They blamed the council initially, and then when I started pushing and pursuing it, turns out they've got a contractual obligation with NEBs, yeah, and obviously they're making money, so they're putting their profit above our health and sleep. That's why I'm here. I'm asking for you to support our health and sleep over their profit. I don't know how you can do that, and if you could tell me how you could do that, I'd be grateful. They're also saying they can't break that contract until the 1st of February. So we've got to put up with no sleep until the 1st of February. I said to them, I've proposed to them, okay, until the 1st of February, you operate between 7 a.m. till 11 p.m. down the back of our house, yeah? And you don't operate outside of those hours at all, yeah? And if you can't do that, you cease operation. It's as simple as that. You know, you haven't got planning permission for this. We didn't buy a house next to an industrial estate, and you are quite right. It is turning into an industrial estate with industrial traffic flowing. The numbers that they quote are, we have 24-hour CCTV monitoring, and we counted 482 vehicles, 12 transporters, 6 HGVs, all documented, all provable. So the numbers that I'm quoting aren't just out of the air. I can back them all up with hard fast proof. I'd ask the Parish Council to support us in this and put our health and privacy. The privacy aspect, I even questioned whether it's because the council have approved this. Is this a breach of Section 8 of our human rights? We've got the right to privacy in our own home. The council have allowed this to happen. We've lost our privacy in our own home. Isn't that? Sorry, E.T. Isn't this a breach of Section 8 of our human rights? It's a big question. I'm not sure, I'm not taking down that avenue, but it's certainly one that came into my mind. And as I say, I'd like APG profits to not be put above our health, and I'd ask the Parish Council to push the planning department to either restrict operating hours from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. until the Gate 5 solution is in operation, not when they start. On the 1st of February, they will start implementing the Gate 5. It won't be ready. It might take 2 months after that. That's when the contract with this NEBS company can be varied, without financial penalty, I guess. And if this cannot be done, I'll ask them if the planning department can simply remove this change of use. So please help us. And if you can help us, how can you help us? It's not something I'm used to talking to a parish council. It probably shows.
Yeah, I've been through the amended planning application. You're quite right. I have put in the use of Gate 5, which fortunately will take it away from the backs of your property.
100%.
I wasn't aware that it couldn't be done until February. You're quite right about the hours of work. So in the planning application, it's the same as the previous one. The operating hours for the transporters, the HGVs, is 6 till 6, a 12-hour window, and then it starts at 5:30 in the morning for the staff arriving at the site, and then another half hour at the end of the day and leaving. I think we could actually query the.
Could I really interrupt, because we were going to discuss this on the agenda.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right, no, not on, but I noticed it's not on the agenda, because it came in this afternoon. I know you mentioned in your email, Alison, that we would be discussing it under planning, so sorry to interrupt.
One interesting thing, that their defence to all of this is Peterborough jobs for Peterborough people, but they need an hour to get to work at 5 a.m. in the morning. And if you look at all of on that document that they uploaded, I think there's a handful of jobs in Peterborough, and the rest are like scattered in London and Cambridge and Essex.
Or
And
maybe around Alconbury, maybe from Alconbury.
yeah, it's mates chatter. It's like, this isn't Peterborough jobs. This is a profit-driven organisation who put profit above a speedway track and people's health. That's what you're dealing with.
I think because I'm Mark's partner, I think the hardest part for us was I used to live on Orton Southgate, so I know what the estate's like. So it wasn't reasonable for it to go through there, and the damage that it was causing to the street traffic and residents, etc. And then the next thing is, I hear, I didn't know at the time, but here they might close it down. And the next thing is, we woke up in the morning at 5 o'clock to see all this traffic. So I went to speak to the security guy who told me he was employed. You don't employ a person in the morning. And it was Peterborough City Council's idea to move it there. And AEPG say they have regular consultation with residents. Well, they don't. The only time they've consulted with us is if we've asked to go meet with them, which they did. We've had a 2-hour meeting with them. But what I don't understand is Peterborough City Council allow something for retrospective planning permission to go on for so long and then refuse it, and then when it is refused, then just pick it up and dump it out in somebody else's back garden is just not on. And what are they going to do when they do this big development? It really is quite scary.
When we wrote to Heather, what was her name? The enforcement officer, Peterborough Panthers, saying, what is going on? Her reply was, read the ET. I kid you not. You want to know what's going on? Read the ET. And it's like, that's our council. She was a fairly good
I need to bring it here to a close now.
Sorry if we feel so.
Thank you for listening to me. I'm probably a bit tired.
We're lacking sleep and feeling very frustrated.
Is that everybody that's come for questions?
Yes, I'll just add one thing. The gentleman over here has just said what he said. I've had dealings with a person from the East of England Agricultural Society, 2005. He left me 5 years living in a car. I've been threatened, harassed, but I'm still standing like I'm standing here tonight. You've heard of Watergate. We call it allotment gate. And I've got a transcript here with me tonight I'll give you after the meeting. Thank you.
Right, we'll move on now to the full meeting, okay? So if you wanted to go, you're more than, as I say, you can certainly stay, but if you like to go, we don't mind. We don't mind at all. Going back to planning matters. To receive and submit comments. Where would you like to start?
Should we do that one first for Mr. Simlow?
Do the
So we can go if you want to.
We'll say that, as been said, an amended plan application with the same original plan application has been submitted. There are changes, which then, as we've said, the entrance is going to change down by Joseph Oldham Way, and it will go through gate 5 and then across the showground, and then not travel across the backs of the Northgate properties, which is good. I didn't realise that won't happen till February. I think the plan application is going to be held by the planning committee in January.
I know noticed that meeting, the planning committee is down in the council calendar as cancelled,
Oh, is it?
so we need to check the date.
So that'll change. The hours of work that proposed are 6 till 6, 12-hour shift. So, but there's a 5:30 start for workers going to the site, and then 6:30 for them leaving the site. Things have been removed from the original application, which is the marquee with the external spray roofs, ovens, and mobile offices to be removed as well from the site. I'm not sure they've all been moved yet. They've given daily traffic average for a period from the 10th of November to the 21st of November. The average number of HGVs in the report is 8 a day. The highest number recorded was 11 a day.
Excuse me, it's not going to change from when...
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yes, no, yes.
I'm just stating that's in the application. So that's that. And that's about it, really.
Yes.
I was going to say, with reference to things that Mr Simlow said, I think there's things that I'd like us to support as the parish council, which is it's the times.
Yeah.
So just it gives add a little bit more meat to the bone. So that's a planning meeting where their part retrospective planning application was turned down by the city councillors, the planning committee. It wasn't that then they were allowed to get on with it as before or just move. I made it very clear in that meeting, and that meeting is on YouTube, so everyone can refer back to it, that any decision to stop using Dunblane Drive in Orton Southgate because it was considered dangerous to the public for them to be running transporters through there, any decision to then instead use Joseph Owen Way should be done after consultation with local residents. That did not happen. So that I put in a complaint to the council about that. It's very clear the negotiations between the council and APG and DHL are tense. Part of that is to do with the jobs, 160 jobs or whatever number it is, not local jobs as people have said. We know that. But that's where the tension is between everybody at the moment. But we've kept on the local council about this because of all of the issues that Ms Dan and Mr Simlow have raised. It's unacceptable to be running those big transporters behind their property or indeed idling them at any time of night. Of course, it's unacceptable. So we have, all of us sort of individually and I guess collectively, have suggested to the council, look, can you please redirect that traffic so it's not passing along the backs of those houses, so going straight up at Joseph Oden Way straight in. There is an issue because they've already leased that land that they have to go over to this other company that doesn't stop until the 1st of Feb. So that's something we need to inquire about. I'll put this in writing to you afterwards, Alison. Why has that got to be a sticking point? Is there really no way that we can run those transporters through there before that date? And also the crucial one is the timing as well, because this suggestion they need to do from 5:30 or whatever, it's too early. You have to remember, we think about no residents on Joseph Oden Way. There are residents who live in the Harvester. So we do have residents there. And we need to include them and make sure that they're happy with what's being suggested. So at a later time would be important. And today I've been discussing with Northgate residents all of this as well, and they said they're concerned actually about any blocking back that might happen with the transporters, which was an issue at the Dunblane Drive entrance. And they've asked, can the entrance that's put at Joseph Oden Way be further in to the compound or whatever you might want to call it, so that there isn't any blocking back, because that Joseph Oden Way, albeit it looks like a dual carriageway, is the sole entrance and exit to the whole of Orton Northgate. That's long been a problem, an issue whenever there's any traffic problems. So what we don't want to do with this is what appears to be happening, which is we solve problems for one set of residents and immediately create another problem for another set of residents, and then again, and then again, and then again. So I am frustrated, and the residents are, that when they were told to cease and desist, they did not, and that's not what's happened, and that negotiations have gone on with DHL. I'm afraid we are where we are with that. There are a lot of jobs at risk, and I don't think any resident here is arguing for people to lose their jobs. But we want our peaceful lives back, and we want people to be in good health and not live under stress. So, Chair, if I may, I'll send to Alison what I just said in bullet point form, and perhaps as Parish Council for this planning application we can submit those comments if everyone's in agreement with that, because with everything that Mrs Simlow has said as Ward Council I certainly agree with.
Yeah, and just to cover it, you mentioned the harvester. The harvester was not included within the revised plan applications taken into consideration. They talked about the nearest house being 75 metres away, but nothing to do with the harvester.
It's a good point, they get forgotten. They live there, the managers.
Right, everybody in agreement? That's fine.
Thank you. Bit of an update from last month from Peterborough City Council. So following a vote of no confidence in the council leader and the Conservative administration on the 1st of November, the City Council is now run by the Peterborough First Group. Speedway, on the 18th of November, Saturday, a rally was held in Cathedral Square to make the public aware that the City Speedway team, which is based at the showground site, is at risk. This is well attended, approximately 350 people, and in relation to that I've tabled a motion at the next full council meeting asking the newer council administration to do what it can to save the Speedway. This will be debated at the next meeting of full council, which is Wednesday of next week, 6th of December, 6 o'clock. We've touched on some of this stuff already, so these are the two things that have dominated my world for the past month, AEPG and DHL. Although DHL stopped using the Dunblane Drive entrance to enter the showground site by using the Gate 1 entrance in Northgate, its lorries now cause significant disturbance at antisocial hours to residents of Marina Drive, as we've heard. It's now proposed that DHL traffic will enter the site via Gate 5. Though with those considerations we've already discussed this evening. A planning application that reflects this proposal is open for comments until 12th of December, and I'm encouraging residents, indeed the Parish Council, to put comments on. It's 12th of December is the deadline for that. As I say, Alison, I'll drop you a line with those. And finally, we've just discussed FI and Lynchwood, but I think we've pretty much covered what I was going to say, so that's it.
Thank you. Anybody got questions for Julie tonight? Thank you. Registering this application as an asset of community value. I think we have considered, and we have agreed. In principle, is that?
Something I feel I have to raise, which is that conversation. So I've mentioned it obviously on social media. A member of council staff who works in the area that deals with assets of community value commented on my post saying that it's not, it won't go through, which wasn't very helpful really, because whether it goes through or not is not the point. The point is that we're going to show good faith and we're going to apply. I just wanted to mention it to you. So having seen that post, I spoke to the member of staff privately and I said, look, can we discuss this with Head of Planning? Because it was Head of Planning who recommended this to the Parish Council. So it's just adding confusion to a situation. So I'll just to let you know, I acknowledge that and I will pick it up. I've left a voicemail with the Head of Planning saying, look, another member of staff has said this and can we just get clarity please, because you've said to us, to Parish Council, that it's a goer. So I just want you to know, don't worry about that, I will deal with it.
I think it goes a lot further than this. If that was me, landing water as an employee, putting something on media, wasn't necessarily, hadn't been decided. It's not up to employees to make, councils make policy, employees carry out. You have no right to do that. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a discipline matter that should be given a moral warning. And when you put our application in, I think I would like it, a letter to go saying that we are concerned that perhaps someone should do this, has no right to do it, and we do not want that person dealing with the application.
Thank you for saying that.
I honestly feel very strongly about it. It's amazing. I've never seen anything quite like that.
I felt very awkward about it.
Well, yeah, what does she think she's doing? So, a very strong letter should go. We are upset about it. She had no right to do it, and we do expect action to be taken as a result.
So just to confirm, a member of the club will then complete the form as far as they can,
Yes.
submit it to me, and then put it
Yeah.
off.
Sure. Will you send that